The static characteristic and the dynamic characteristic give a good idea on the operation of the diode, and from these static and dynamic characteristic we should be able to obtain the power loss within this device, within the diode. So let us discuss now how we obtain the power loss within the diode. This is essential, especially in power electronic circuits, because we need to remove the heat that is generated within the device, and for that one needs a heat sink, either natural cooling or forced cooling. So the design of the thermal aspect, it is important that we are able to estimate accurately the power loss within the device. Because if the device has junction temperature has to be kept within limits, the heat that is generated in the form of loss within the device has to be removed away. So that is an important aspect of any power semiconductor switch. You have to keep it cool. So let us have a look once again at some waveforms, and the time evolution is what we are going to look at. We are going to look at the same waveforms, the input waveform, the voltage, the current and the voltage of the diodes, the current through the diode and the voltage across the diode. So now first let us look at this input source waveform Vs, and Vs we saw that has two states. When it is high it is V1, when it is low it is minus Vr, and it keeps swinging between these two states periodically. So let us see several periods. Let us take the waveform several periods where the high state is V1 and the other state is minus Vr. So this is the kind of waveform that you are seeing here applied, and we know how to draw the voltage across the anode and cathode of the diode, and also the current through the diode. We saw that during the dynamic characteristics, development of the dynamic characteristic. Now let us mark these critical transition points in the grid, and we will take the current through the diode IAK, anode to cathode. So during this region, the Vs is high, which means the anode is more positive than the cathode. The diode will conduct, and therefore there will be a current flow through the diode IAK. So if this value is V1, the value of the current that flows through the diode will be V1 by R. So this would be the value of the current that is flowing through the diode when the diode is on. And when the source voltage goes negative, then the diode will be reverse biased and no current effectively flows during the reverse biased condition. So that is the off state of the diode. There is a small period here. This is the on state to off state transition, and this is what we had been discussing during the dynamic characteristic. The turn off condition was zoomed, and then we had a look at how the charge needs to be recombined, removed for it to reach the blocking state. So this waveform will repeat again when the voltage goes positive. You will see that the diode conducts V1 by R, and then again there is a turn off situation, there is off state, again there is an on state when the diode current flows, off state, so on. This continues. And VAK is the voltage across the diode. How does that look like? That also we looked at during the dynamic characteristic discussion. So during the time when V1 is high, then the voltage across the anode cathode of the diode during the forward bias condition is just the 0.6 volt drop plus the forward current into the dynamic resistance. And then during the off state, it blocks the reverse voltage. So again, on state and the off state, it blocks the reverse voltage, and this keeps repeating. So the reverse voltage it blocks will be the same as whatever the reverse voltage of the source minus VR, and this will also be minus VR, which means the entire reverse voltage will be blocked by the diode, because it would have reached an infinite resistance during the off state or the blocking state. There is of course the transition period here, which we had looked in detail during the dynamic characteristic analysis. So it is this part that we saw as the dynamic characteristic. So this part is actually zoomed here, and we studied that during discussing the dynamic characteristics. So next, let us look at the important parameter here, which is the loss, P loss. So let us have a waveform for the P loss, which is basically nothing but instantaneous value of VAK into IAK, and we will have one time axis for that. So during the time when a diode is on, there will be some loss, which is basically this current IAK into this VAK, which is a small value, and therefore you will see that this represents the conduction losses. And then during the transition from on to off to on, from the on state to the off state, so you have this turn off loss, which we have seen is basically happening because both voltage and current are finite here, and you will have some loss here when multiplication of current and voltage. And then after it has reached the blocking state, current is zero, and therefore you will see more or less zero off state loss. So this would represent the off state loss. And then you have a small transition here, the turn on transition from the off state to the on state. But as I mentioned earlier, this turn on transition has negligible loss, it is very fast, and therefore it is not a serious problem. So this repeats for every cycle. So you have the on state to the off state loss, the off state loss, and the turn on loss, and again this repeats. So this would be the way the power curve would look like. This is an instantaneous power curve, and this portion, as I said, is the conduction loss or the on state loss, and we can name it as PCOND, P conduction. And this portion is the turn off loss from the on state to the off state, and that is actually the zoomed picture, which is coming, the multiplication of the current and voltage of this portion of the zoomed picture during the reverse recombination time. So this is the turn off loss, and this is on to off. This portion, as is evident, is the off state loss. We call that one as P off, and this is approximately equal to 0, not serious. And this is the turn on loss, to turn on the diode from the off state to the on state. So off to on is also approximately equal to 0, not very serious. So these are the 4 losses that will come into the picture in any switch: the on state loss, the off state loss, the turn off loss, and the turn on loss. So in the diode, we need to bother about calculate for the conduction losses, which is one main contributor, and the turn off loss, which is the other main contributor. And the off state and the turn on losses are so insignificant compared to these two, you need not estimate that. And these two will give you an estimation of the power loss with a reasonable accuracy for you to actually design the heat sink or the thermal aspect for the diode. Let us now estimate the power loss in a diode. So the power loss can be considered to be the summation of the conduction loss, P conduction, plus the turn off loss, that is power loss due to transition from on to off state, plus the off state loss, and power loss due to transition from off to on, that is the turn on loss. And we have discussed that the power loss during the off state is almost zero, and the turn on loss is also almost zero, and therefore we can neglect it. And for the diode, we can concentrate and estimate the conduction and the on state loss for calculation of the thermal aspects. So let us see first the conduction loss here. So the conduction loss, P conduction, what is it? So let us see the time evolution waveform. So VAK into IAK, the voltage across the diode, anode to cathode, and the current through the diode, IAK, instantaneous multiplication gives this kind of a waveform. So having divided this into these segments, the time, this is the on time, this is the off time, this is the on time, this is the off time, and the cycle repeats. One on time and one off time makes a switching period. So during the on time, we have seen that there is some current flow and there is voltage drop across the diode, and that multiplies and gives some value of power. During the off time, the current through the diode is zero, and therefore there is no power dissipation. Again, during the on time, you have the loss, finite value of VAK into IAK. During the off time, it is zero. So this graph shows only the loss due to the on state. Explicitly, the turn off and other losses are not shown. So we are concentrating only the conduction loss, so basically the on state loss of the device. So this is the instantaneous value of the product of voltage into current. We have shown this as constant here because the current DC, but need not be so. In some circuits, some applications, the current can be varying, and therefore this can be a varying curve during the on time. So what it basically means is that we need to take an average over a period. So if you draw an average, which looks like this here, this would be the average loss, and that would be the conduction loss. Average loss of only the conduction loss is P conduction, and therefore in mathematical terms it is average over the switching period Ts, integral from 0 to Ts, VAK into IAK is the product of the voltage into current dt. So this integral gives you the average power or average power loss in the diode due to conduction. Let us now use this equation and analyze further to obtain the conduction loss. So during the on state, what is VAK? What is the anode to cathode voltage across the diode? So for this, let me use the static characteristic, the piecewise linear approximation. This is IAK, this is VAK. The piecewise linear approximation for the forward characteristic of the static characteristic curve is like this, right? We saw this before. This is the cut-in voltage, we call it that VF, and there is some operating point. So let us say the current flowing through the diode is some value here. So it will go and intersect the forward characteristic at this point, and that becomes the operating point. So you project it down onto the VAK axis. This point, cut-in point is nothing but VF, which is around 0.6 volts for silicon, and there is an extra amount of drop due to the dynamic resistance RD. So there is a current flowing through that, and this drop is nothing but IAK into RD. So therefore, we can now write the drop across the diode anode to cathode during the on state as VF, the forward cut-in voltage, plus IAK into the dynamic resistance RD. So now what is the conduction loss? P conduction, we will use this equation here, this integral equation, nothing but 1 by Ts, integral of 0 to Ts, VAK is this. We will replace it by this relationship. VF plus IAK into RD. This is VAK into IAK. We will put IAK dt. So this is the equation for the average conduction loss, and which is PCOND. Now let us do a couple of steps of simplification, rearrangement. So let us say I put this 1 by Ts, integral of Ts Vf into IAK dt. I will split this because of the sum, plus 1 by Ts integral of 0 to Ts IAK square. So this is IAK square times RD into dt. So we have Vf is a constant value. I will bring it out, and that is multiplied by 1 by Ts integral of 0 to Ts IAK dt. So this term you see is nothing but I average. This is nothing but average of the current flowing through the diode. Plus now RD is a constant term. I will bring that out at that operating point. So this remaining part of the term is 1 by Ts integral of 0 to Ts IAK square dt, and this integral term is nothing but mean of the current square. Mean of the current square is nothing but RMS square. So therefore you have here the average of the current flowing through the diode, and you have here the RMS value of the current flowing through the diode. So therefore your conduction losses can be given by Vf, the forward cut-in voltage, into the average value of the current flowing through the diode, plus Rd, the forward dynamic resistance, into RMS value of the current flowing through the diode. So therefore P conduction is equal to Vf into I average plus I RMS square into Rd. So this is the equation for the conduction loss in the diode. This is irrespective of what type of circuit you may use. If you know the current waveform or wave shape, then and you know the value of Rd, then you will be able to estimate the conduction loss in the diode. Let us now estimate the turn-off loss in a diode. We have seen the turn-off characteristics in a diode. Looks like this, and we have discussed this. And this is the reverse recovery time, and this is the reverse recovery charge. And during the turn-off process, this reverse recovery charge has to be removed. Then the diode goes into the off state. So what we will do, we would like to estimate this charge, which means that we would like to find the area under this curve here, this area, the gray shaded area. We can do a small approximation, make it into a triangular waveform. This will be a good approximation, easy to calculate. So now the area of this triangle will give you QRR. So QRR is nothing but half base into height, half TRR into IRR value, the reverse current. And what is the energy for this charge removal? on to off will be half QV, half QRR into VR. VR is the applied reverse voltage. Again, as a consequence, what is the power from on to off is nothing but the rate of energy, which is E on to off by Ts, the switching period, because it is repetitive at that rate. I can also write it as E on to off into the switching frequency Fs. So for E on to off, we will replace this equation. So E on to off can be written as half QRR VR into Fs. Now QRR can be replaced with this. So we get in terms of parameters which are measurable and known. So QRR is nothing but half TRR IRR. So 1/4 VR IRR into TRR into Fs. So we see here that this is the on to off or turn off power. We know the switching frequency. It is something, a design parameter. We are applying that. TRR is the reverse recovery time for the diode, can be obtained in the data sheet. IRR is the reverse current depending upon the circuit. VR is the reverse voltage that is applied at the time of turn off. So these are all measurable and known from the circuit. Therefore, we can estimate the turn off power. So now knowing this is the turn off. Now knowing the conduction loss and the turn off loss, you can estimate the total loss of the diode, which will be P conduction loss plus the turn off loss on to off turn off loss. So this is the loss equation, and this way you can estimate the loss, you will get the value, and this loss is the one that needs to be removed such that the diode is cool throughout the operation of the power electronic circuit. So how does one remove the heat? So there are several methods, by natural conduction or even convection, by forced cooling, depending upon the quantity of the loss that has to be removed. So one may just leave it the heat can be removed naturally from the case of the device, or you may have to put special heat removal heat sinks onto the device and then remove the heat. So it all depends upon the amount of loss and also the thermal resistances that are associated with the device for the removal of heat from the junction to the case and case to the ambient. So in this way, thermal loss calculation, estimation, and also designing heat removal is an important part of any power electronic circuit.